This episode is sponsored by the Twindle Foundation. Learn more at www.twindlefoundation.org.
Let's talk.
So many people stay hidden due to fear. Fear of judgment, shame, or even guilt. You are not alone on your journey. Girl, you are not alone. This is a safe place. A place to be heard, a place to be free, a place to be yourself. Bring your girlfriends and let's talk about it. Yeah, let's talk about it. All right. How are you today?
Hi, Tuanja. I am very happy and I'm very excited to be here.
I can hear the excitement in your voice. That's good. How's the weather?
Weather is beautiful. We are entering winters here and it's been quite cold. Last night it was windy when we went out and oh my God, I am not a heating person, but I have just heated a heater on.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so funny because today was like 80 degrees maybe here in South Carolina, and you're in Australia and you're telling me that you turned the heat on. So that is funny. That is funny. That is funny.
This is the beauty of nature, and I feel that we are very fortunate on this planet, as in some parts, you have your winters, some parts it's summer, and we have flights, we can go and enjoy any weather.
Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah, that definitely is. Well, I want you to start by just sharing with the audience and just letting them know who you are and talk about your business. I'm so excited to jump in, just to hear, what you have going on and just sharing with everyone how you got started.
Okay, thank you for asking this beautiful question, and I'm very happy to share that my name is Navee Sparkle, and I am a dating and relationship coach, and I operate from Australia. And what brought me to this stage that I was a single mother, and before that I was in a very abusive relationship, and I decided to leave my partner, and I wanted to know that, okay, what went wrong?
Right.
So that brought me to this whole concept of looking for answers and, studying that how love and relationship works, how, science of attraction works, and what it is all about.
Yeah. You know what? So I think that dating in relationship, that has been like a really big topic, and there's so many different gurus out there. There's so many different people, that talk about, what to do or what to do while dating or meeting someone, or, how to go about dating someone. There's Steve Harvey had a big topic on, a discussion. He talks about dating in relationship, and then, there's this guy, Derek Jackson. He talks about, relationships. So there's a lot of different relationship coaches out there, and everyone's sharing and telling, men and women, what to do or what to look for, those signs, or, how to know that this person is the right person. And I think that there's so many people, because there's a lot of people out there that are single and that are looking to date. And it's pretty tough, because even for myself, I'm, in the dating market, and I don't think that I'm that good with it at all. Actually, I don't think that I put forth any effort whatsoever. And it's so hard for me, because my friends always say, you need to go out and try something different, or go out and meet people. And I'm just like, go where? Where am I going to meet people? But you can meet people anywhere. You can meet people at the grocery store. You can meet people at Lowe's. And I always hear people say, what's your hobby? Go out and find like-minded people, and maybe, you'll find someone, or whenever that time is the right time. So tell me, so for someone like me who who's in the dating market or in the dating pool and looking to date someone, what could be some of the things, what could you share with me or give me some type of tip about going out there and attracting love?
It's a beautiful question. And as you said, that there have been a lot of people, telling what to say, what to do, and how to be, and what are the red flags, what is love bombing. And I feel that there is so much out there on Google and on internet that it can really, really leave you very confused. Mm-hmm. Because there is a lot of advice. And the thing with that is when you have a lot of advice, it's so hard to choose who to follow.
Right, that is correct.
And though, when I was looking for all that, I have also come across so many people. And then I feel that how I pick up my clients and how I pick up the people I work with, or I get some professional help with, that who I feel good about, who I feel good with. And when it comes to women who are because basically my clients are very intelligent and established women. And we have got our shit together.
Yes.
And I feel that we find even it harder to connect with someone and to have that forever lasting love. So when you ask me that, okay, give me a tip, actually, there is no quick fix.
I agree.
So there is a lot of things that come to, to attraction, to building a long-lasting relationship. Actually, we feel that the goal of life is to find a partner, And for women, because when we are young, we always have this fairy tale wedding dream. And nothing wrong with that. Everybody wants that. I wanted that. And it's a beautiful thing to have partner and have someone who loves you and who supports you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes. So the only thing here is that the goal of life is growth and evolution. And I feel that why relationship doesn't work, or the one thing that comes to my mind is when you stop growing with people, you lose attraction. Mm. And why you stop growing with people? Because maybe when you came together, you're not aligned.
Mm. Talk about that. Talk about that a little bit more.
When I say aligned, that now there was a survey happening, and I came to know that in US there is a lot of divorce happening. The divorce rate has gone really high. Mm. And due to COVID, the need of partnership and need of love has become bigger than anything else. Because indirectly, COVID has made us realize quite a lot of things that, okay, what happens if you have to get locked down in 6 months in your house and, you don't even have someone to talk. Mm. People have died not of COVID, but of isolation. Mm. Wow. And when I say aligned means that person is good for your health, good for your body, good for your mind. And this is a safe person for you, and you are safe for each other.
Do you think that a lot of times people know what to look for when finding that their finding a mate, do you think that I don't want to say they overlook things, but maybe they don't have like, maybe their priority changes, and when they first start dating someone, they're looking for certain qualities, and then as time progresses, they start to their values start to change, and then they're like, well, this person doesn't measure up. Or a lot of times I think that people may want to get married, and I've heard this a lot from guys in the past, and they said that, I mean, I won't say that it's a large population, but I've heard this, that when women reach 40, it's like they feel like their time clock is ticking. And so they're in a rush to get married. And so do you feel like people just settle, and they're settling for the wrong person?
I feel that here big part is people have some myths about finding a partner.
Mm-hmm.
Women think, oh, they have to be sexy, and they have to be rich, and they have to be doing so much for a man to stay in love.
Performance based. Is that what you're saying when you
it is, yes.
So much
you are performing,
okay.
And when you get tired of performing, you feel frustrated.
Yeah.
You become someone else, and in your heart, you're not liking it, and then you blow up.
You know what? I'm glad you said that. Let's pause 1 second. When you say performance, are you saying that sometimes, and I know that this happens, that some women have a tendency of going all in too quickly, like they're doing all of these great things for a man that's not their husband, like they're trying to show themselves or prove that they can be a wife or wife material. So then they're performing, they're cooking, they're cleaning, they're showing that, saying, I'm a boss, I can make, I could pay bills, or I'm independent, or, saying I could take care of myself, or I could take care of you, that type of stuff. Do you feel like women carry that type of energy into relationships, trying to prove themselves?
I feel that not only some women, we have all been in that energy at some stage of our life. I've been at the same place.
Mm.
And this people pleasing comes from where we don't accept ourselves.
Yes.
And it comes from our childhood wounds.
Yeah.
And not all people, but in my household, I felt that I was not loved by my parents how I wanted them to love me.
Right.
And that doesn't and we seek love, we seek that validation.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I didn't know, when I was 27 when I got married, I didn't know what I wanted in life. I felt that this man was escape for me, and this man will love me, how I wanted to be loved.
Okay. I'm sorry. Can I just let me just unpack something for you, because this is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that sometimes people go into relationships with unmet emotional needs, and they're looking for that in the other person. So, and when I say unmet emotional needs that they haven't received from their parents, it's the affection. They're looking for the validation. They're looking for love. They're looking for affirmation. They're looking for that support, the security, the things that their parent, that they didn't receive as a child in their childhood. And then that it's buried inside of them. And so their cups are empty. And so they're looking for that in a spouse or in a mate to fill their cup. So they're longing for that, and they're looking for that from someone else. And even if they receive a little bit of it, they feel like it's enough. And then later on, as their relationship progresses, or as if they move forward and then become married, they're looking for so much more. And when that person doesn't fill their cups, then everything, because they hadn't dealt with whatever it is that they were holding inside, or they're still looking for them to fill something that their parents should have filled when they were a child. You go ahead. I'm sorry. I wanted to
no,
just put that out there.
that's a big prospect of that. And thanks to social media, we have known this now for quite lot of years. But here comes the role of coach, that when your cup is empty, to make you aware that your cup is empty, because we don't know if our cup is empty, and then helping you find ways to fill that cup and become your own source.
Right.
Here is like, a lot of co-independency, and we women are very sensitive creatures. We crave for that validation, So after becoming a coach and doing, a lot of inner work, I still crave that validation from my parents. I was telling you that yesterday we signed a very big client, and I wanted to tell my parents and make them feel that they're proud of me.
Right. Wow.
And now I'm aware. The thing it is that we feel that, if we do certain things, we become perfect. But there is no place called perfection. You become aware, and you coach, or I teach you that how to be aware and how to process those emotions without being angry with someone, and without putting your expectation on someone.
Yes, gosh, yes.
And it is nothing wrong with having expectations. So when my work is based on polarity, where I teach women that they don't have to do anything to be loved.
That's good.
And I kind of activate their feminine energy in themselves, and that gives them a lot of confidence to go out and date, speak their truth, and be comfortable with who they are. We have listened these terms. Okay, be comfortable who you are. This is a very, like, you must have heard this term. And here I help women to understand, what does that mean? So there comes the lot of exercises we do in our workshops and live calls, that it's a gradual process, that you see all parts of you. All the beautiful parts of you.
Right.
All the messy parts of you. But they scare you.
Yes, exactly. I always find that people, they're always, it's always easier for people to share the good part, their good aspects, but they don't want to be vulnerable or transparent enough to share the ugly parts of themselves. Maybe sometimes people don't want to look themselves in the mirror. And I always say this, and I always say, it's so funny because I say, I had to deal with myself, and I had to look myself in the mirror, and I say, I can't believe this is me. Maybe I'm looking at somebody else. This is not me. Because you think that you're such a good person when you're doing good things, and then and especially for me in the past, entering into relationships, I failed so many times, and I kept saying, gosh, why is it always like this? I felt like I was attracting the same type of guys. And I finally came to a place where I figured out where I was going wrong, like what was drawing me to that, to those type of people. And it was hurt that was inside, and I hadn't released it. I was holding on to so much. And I feel like a lot of times people are holding on, and sometimes they can't move or attract the right person until they release that negative energy that they have stored up inside.
Yes, awareness is a beautiful thing. Awareness is a beginning of change. And look, I would say here that be compassionate to yourself, and we all have that. And as I said, that you're not perfect, I'm not perfect, nobody's perfect. We all have that part. It's just that, acknowledging that and loving that part also equally,
Yes.
and working on it in your own time. And no matter what, how messy emotionally you are, there is no excuse for you not to be loved.
That is right.
Yes.
God loves us the way that we are, and loves us
Huh?
God loves us the way that we are, and loves us enough to help us correct ourselves in our ways, in the way that we see ourselves. So if God could love me at this stage in my life, then I should be able to love me at this stage in my life.
I feel that when the concept of love, actually, it came to my mind when we were initially talking about it. What is our understanding of love? That's a big part of it. What is love for a woman? The idea of love comes from the movies, mostly movies, or as most of us women, we didn't see very healthy role models of people being loved in our lives. So that my mission is to change the definition of love. Love is, for me, love is not when you have butterflies. Love is when you had a hard day and you're looking forward to go home, and when you walk in, there is someone that knows, oh, she doesn't look the same. Okay, honey, what's wrong? And then you have a space, to share, and that feels safe. And these days, in this century, it is not what it used to be. We women are very successful. Women are CEOs. Women are, we are doing a lot of work, And on the top, we have a big responsibility to, though, women are choosing not to have children, but most women want to have children, and that's also and here is my argument when people say, oh, it is 50-50. No, it's not. How can you make 50-50? 50-50 is when, and there is no, in my work, we love men and we appreciate them. There is no, we see good in them. And as we have understanding of their emotional compass and their, how, what they feel and how much they feel and how their brain works, and my argument to this 50-50 thing is, if we have sex, I can fall pregnant, but the man cannot fall pregnant.
Oof.
Once I give birth, I lose the calcium that my body will produce in 2 years in those hours. I feel that the big part, it comes when we say, we women actually, we don't have to compete with anyone. You are enough. You women, that is more than enough.
Yep. Yes,
I feel that
enough.
this race of, look, I don't say that, this race of equality has left us in a very fragile space. I feel that men and women are different. We make this earth beautiful when we come together.
That is correct.
And a household should not look like as an office, a power struggle, a battlefield.
Right.
And it is very important when you're happy, if, I am a CEO and I don't have anything to look after when I go home, and I will, how long will I survive? Because we all need that companionship. We love that companionship, and we want that. Oh, I'm established. I'm rich. I have so much money. I have so much success. Who should I share with? No matter how beautiful family you have, I don't have to, stress on that, the need of partner. And in my world, and we have men who love to give us, who love to appreciate us and celebrate us, and we can lean on them for for support and for healthy love.
You know what? I want to add something to that. What you just said. You were talking about, the CEO and, being a CEO and, working and having so much, establishing a career for yourself. And a lot of times women, especially women in high position, they chase after a career and, their goals and whatever it is. And then they go back and they want to, then they decide that, okay, hey, I want to have a family. I want to have some kids, or I want to be married, that type of stuff. And so I've seen a lot online where people, and sometimes for people in those positions, it's harder for them to find love, because sometimes I've heard this before about myself that, you could be very intimidating because people see that you're this boss, or people see that, you have this or that. And so it's harder for guys to approach a woman when they've established whatever type of life that they want. But then on the other hand, I've seen, and this is on social media, I've seen a lot of women that say that they're in a place where they're just happy being alone. And I struggled with that. I can't believe that these people said that they're happy alone. That doesn't make sense to me. Like, I'm okay by myself, and I'm just like, I want to get to that place where I'm at peace, by myself, but knowing that I don't want to be alone, but just accept the fact that I haven't met that person. And I think that, and I was in a place where I was wondering, are people just saying, well, I'm alone, so I'm happy being alone, or are they really content with themselves and that they're happy being alone? So that has been a struggle for me in my mind, because I said, well, I'd love to get to that place of peace where I'm okay with just being by myself or being alone, but knowing that that's not what my heart desires. Because when your heart desires something, there's going to be something inside of you and you're going to want that. It's almost like someone who desires to have a baby. They're going to feel that, they're going to want that, because that's what it is that they want. So that's why it's hard for me to understand how people just turn that off, because they're just like, oh, I'm just happy, or I've come to terms.
Look, if you are, it comes to, it's very gray. I'm not sure, like, I want to believe those people and those women who say that they're happy being alone, and if that's what makes them happy.
Right.
I am putting here a reflection question. Are you really happy, or is it a coping mechanism, or
that's what I think,
or is it because I have done with men, and or because I'm not in a place to to have a connection and a long lasting love with a man, and most it comes that we treat, actually this is a big part to it, that especially when it comes to my work, that men and women are different. They're
right.
Very, very different, and because I understand the signs of this polarity and attraction, and that's what I teach my clients. And I feel that, okay, but why you have to be alone when you can share a beautiful life, you have a beautiful body to enjoy and sex is beautiful, and having a child is beautiful. Why you have to do your life alone? Like, why? Because I'm too scared to get hurt.
I agree.
And the thing is, industry so big, and people saying, "Oh, say this, and you will get the guy. Say this, and he will come after you. Do this, and he will come after you." And recently, there is new thing like that being sold very quickly. That is feminine energy. It's beautiful. It's amazing. But people telling women to do feminine energy from a masculine space. We don't do anything when we are feminine. Feminine is just being and just being happy with who you are and embracing yourself and connecting to your heart. How can you connect to your heart using your mind? This is like, and I was very fortunate that I looked up all that stuff, and for me and for all the women, we have this GPS system in our body, in our body, and this is with our hearts and feelings, and when, because I feel that I was very tuned with my feeling even then, when before doing this work, and I knew that who feels good for me, and I went to my, I decided to work with my mentor, and honestly, after working with her, though, I have worked with a lot of other people and I've seen a lot of other content, but I feel that I resonate more with feminine from a heart place, and this is what I teach in my work, like, really connecting to yourself and feeling your all feelings without judgment, without negativity, and still being able to navigate them and not acting out on every little emotion, but processing them and, feeling them deep down and saying, okay, this part of me is messy, but I love this part of me as I love this part. And it's a journey. And as I say that, we might start from something, a basic understanding, and then we reach to a level where we trust ourselves so much. We women, my clients reach on to a point where, and I have reached to that point, that I trust myself more than, anything else. Even my work, I operate from my heart. I was telling you that this client I signed up yesterday. So she was, she is a big wedding planner. She's a very big name. And it was very hard for her to come to me and, say where she was struggling, because I feel that it is a lot of shame attached to it. And women kind of make this thing, oh, maybe, if I go and, get a love coach or relationship coach, there is something wrong with me. No, there is nothing. When you don't know, like I didn't know that how this love thing worked. So I went and got help. And here is that this is the first step when you go out and you look for help. And then she was on a call this week, Wednesday, and when we started talking and she started opening up, and it was so beautiful. And I feel that she was very, and she said that, she would like to be here in her life. And I said, we have this, I do this, and we do certain programs, and you can do one-on-one with me, and you can do some self-study programs with me. So I feel that she took like 3-4 days to come back to me, and I could see that there was a lot of resistance.
She had to trust you.
And that's okay. When I want to sign up, I want to make sure that this person is going to work for me. But actually, in my work, I teach my client, not, I don't make them, okay, anytime you have a question, you come back to me, though you can always come back and seek support from me. And I feel that I make my clients so empowered that whenever there is a situation, they are able to navigate it because they have done all that work. Their feminine energy is activated. Their soft self is out. They don't show up the same way with their partner or on a date, how they show up on a business meeting. Because we all have this, masculine and feminine energy in women, in all of us. But some aspects of our life need masculine energy, doing, making things happen. But I feel that in love, you don't need to do anything. It just comes to that, you understand and you do and you practice. And what I teach my client, initially there is bit resistance. How can you ask us to spin date? And how they go in the work, and gradually they understand that when they go and in full realness of themselves and embracing themselves, they feel the difference, that men approach them differently. They attract very healthy partners, and men who adores them. And we also work on jotting down, because when people come to us, they have long lists. Oh, I want this. Like Instagram has made us, sorry, no offense to any social media, but social media has given us so much high standard. You can have high standards. Do those standards are healthy for you? Are you looking for chemistry, or are you looking for love? And people want things to, happen quick. That's very masculine space. That's intensity. That is chemistry. But as the science of bonding and connection says, connection grows gradually. And men bond when you make them feel, because they are very logical creatures. And when you understand how a man bonds with a woman, you won't jump onto the bed in early dating just to please this man, just to seek that validation. Sex is beautiful, and no offense to that. I teach my client that, okay, when you do something, trust yourself and be in that full feminine goddess energy. We make empowered choices, And sometimes, my clients have had sex on early dating, and, maybe date number 1, 2, 3, or 5, or whatever. I said, okay, there is no mistakes in our work. There are no errors there. We embrace ourselves no matter who we are. And I feel that accepting ourselves and being okay with that is big part. And then, though, I give a lot of strategies, how these strategies help, because they initially they build your confidence, and then you become that empowered, feminine, soft, warm, inviting, that glue meant to you.
That's so good. That is so good. And I think that you've given so much insightful information. It's so much, there's so much in there to unpack. And I feel like it's going to be like this message is going to help people to to acknowledge and identify where they are in
And
their
reach for help too, if
exactly,
you need.
and that's absolutely okay because we're not born or we don't always have everything that we need. And I feel like it's so good to speak with other people, to share with other women, or to share with other people, different cultures, understand what people are feeling, what people are processing, so that you will know that you're not the only person out there, or just be open to hear other ideas or what other people values are, and take some of that in, take some whatever works for you or whatever part. But I feel like you do have to acknowledge and identify, what's going on within yourself, and then also be open to hear from other people, because this is different for me. This is very different, and I took in a lot of information, with good information, and it makes me start to wonder and think. And then I'll probably go back and share some of that with my friends, and talk about that type of stuff, because these are conversations that we don't have, and we don't have it because we don't know, we don't identify with it. So I feel like you share so many nuggets on, and especially on the feminine energy. I feel like that's something that I'm going to look within myself to make sure that that's what I am putting out there, because I find myself in the struggle of wanting things to be a certain way, and with some high expectations. And not saying, feeling like I need to lower my expectation or standards, but I need to tap more into my feminine energy and not feel like I have to do so much or to prove myself. And not just saying like in a relationship, but in the things that I do. I found myself feeling like I have to prove myself in my work, or that type of stuff. And I don't, because those things should come so naturally. I should just do what I do, use my gift, and allow life to just happen instead of trying to force things to happen.
And I would say here that, if you're struggling, anything, like especially in love life, and I feel that uh, we women are very successful, intelligent CEOs, doctors. I feel that there is nothing wrong for reaching out for help, because I was not able to figure it out myself, and it's when you have a person who knows what this person is talking, and that is my mission, that is my purpose of life, that helping intelligent and established women to have amazing, kick-ass, yummy love in their life.
Yes,
That
that's
is
what I'm looking
Navee
for.
Sparkle's mission.
That's what I'm looking for. The kick-ass part. That's it.
Yes. You can be kick-ass, and you can be, what I call it. You can be a love goddess. You can both. We have got both this. This is, because there is a CEO part of me that, wants to get things done, and it is beautiful. And you can be successful, smart, like when you said intimidating part.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, there is a lot that things we tell to ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing is, you don't have to go and coach men on the dates. We don't do that. We don't fix men. There is a lot of behaviors that comes. I teach my I teach my clients not to do that, because they are big attraction killer.
Right.
And there is a lot of the processes we do when I connect with my client, that okay, here we are. So, and everything I teach has a logic, a science behind it. It's just not that I come from a particular background and I believe in that. No. And even then, if because the big part of this is I don't force my clients. This client which I signed up, and I was actually, I was telling one of my associate that I don't feel that she's ready for that, because what we discussed on the call, it was very overwhelming. And because she realized that she hasn't healed from a divorce that happened 10 years back. And this woman took time, and I just said to my associate, I feel that I really wanted to help her, and I told that on her call that what I do and how we do. And if she still decides to not to choose us, that's okay.
Right.
I don't fix people because I don't believe in that. I love who I am, and I love and accept people who they are. Yes, there is always things you can do. There is always learning, you can do work and you implement. And I got, one of my clients was really struggling, and we were not able to figure out that what was going on, because she was like, there was no second date happening. She was meeting men, and then I said, okay, how about, I would call her Abby. I said, Abby, okay, how about do you want, she said, oh, Navneet, can you come on a date with me?
Wow.
And I do a lot of role plays with my clients, to build that confidence. Because look, sometimes, you really need that side of, being able to find out that what happens on dates. Sometimes it's not about you, it's about men. And sometimes it is, we sit there and we talk about business, and, we do very masculine behaviors that put high value masculine men off, and I just saw that. I said, okay, I'll go to the same restaurant and I'll have coffee while you have a date. And we were able to figure out that, okay, what was going on? She was sitting there and trading this date. High value men are not looking for a coach, especially a coach in the bedroom and coach on the food table. They want a safe space, as we want a safe space. We all are very smart, and when we are tuned, we know what to do in our lives. We don't need to, especially, it's a big attraction killer. And that client said to me that, oh yes, this is what I've been doing. I said, wow. I said, why are you doing that? And she says, because people ask me what I do. I said, does he really need to know what you do on your first date? So that comes from a bit of performance energy too. We all been there. So, yep.
This was so great. This was really good. There's a lot of information in here that I know that it's going to be so helpful for so many different people, and I can't wait to share this podcast. The goal for me when I first started my podcast was I wanted to create a safe space for people to be able to talk and talk about things that we don't understand, talk about things that we've never heard about, talk about things that allows us to be vulnerable and transparent, but still be able to talk about it. I wanted to just be able to share and to help people to heal and allow myself to heal as I go, because I feel like healed people could heal other people. You may have a story that could help me. I may have something that could help you. And I said to myself that I wanted to speak with women around the globe. And you're actually the first international person that I have interviewed on my podcast. So thanks for helping me to manifest my dreams. I really want to.
I'm so pleased. And honestly, I can't wait to connect with more and more women. And it's so beautiful. And, yes, it is my work, and I love what I do, and I live for it. And, I want to, because I've been at that place where I was very, very, in a space where I didn't feel that I had a purpose. And, this whole learning and, gave me a purpose in my life. And that's why I'm here. And I am so pleased. And I can't thank you enough for this opportunity. And yeah, we are looking forward to more and more and, reaching out to people and reaching out to women. And just one thing before we finish, I would say, if you don't know, ask.
That's right. That's good. That's
and
right.
If you ask, it is given.
That's right. That's exactly right. Seek and you shall find. You know what? There is something else that I do want to share. And while we're talking about this feminine energy, there's something that's been placed on my heart. Like I feel this, and I feel like I should share this part, because even when we're talking about the energy and that what we put out there, because I live my life trying to be perfect, and that comes from the unmet emotional need of gosh, I just had it, because I'm more of a perfectionist, and it's acceptance. That's it, of being accepted, and you want to make sure that you do everything a certain way. That's how I am. It makes me become performance based, and when you were sharing about the energy, it just made me realize that instead of trying to make my life perfect, like my career, different aspects, different things in my life that I push so hard, I should just accept where I am and just allow myself to draw. Because even for the podcast, I feel like everything has to be a certain way. And in this moment, I realized, and this is a part of my healing because I feel like this helped me, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to have purpose. And I feel like it would draw exactly what it needs, So I guess I was so worried about the messages and making sure that this was this way and that, and it doesn't have to be that. All I had to do was just connect with people and do what I'm supposed to. And as long as it has purpose, I would draw exactly what I'm supposed to draw. I will draw the right people. The energy that I put off on it will connect me to where I'm supposed to be connected, versus trying to work so hard to make something perfect on my own and it goes nowhere. You helped me. You see how perfect that was? You helped me. And I felt that in my spirit. And I just had to share that. I did, because someone may be listening to this at some point, and they may hear that. They may resonate with what I just stated, because I've always been so performance-based in my life, wanting everything to be perfect. Everything to be perfect. To a point where I brought on so much fear in myself. And now I'm just like, release that. It doesn't even have to be that way.
Yes,
the energy was
flow, and it's not like. And thank you for sharing. It's beautiful, because we successful and established women live in that energy. And this perfection, and that's puts men off too. In this need of perfection, and everything has to be perfect.
Or it has to be done at a certain time. Like it should be this
certain time and certain way, And I feel that brings a lot of pressure in our relationship. Mm-hmm. And yes, this is also, I do in my work, that we release this sense of perfection, Yeah. It is, I can't thank you enough for this opportunity. It was wonderful talking to you, and yes,
absolutely.
Putting this message out. Yay!
This was amazing, and I really enjoy you coming on, and definitely would love to have another conversation with you later on in the future.
This episode is sponsored by the Twindle Foundation. The Twindle Foundation is a nonprofit organization dedicated to changing the wealth gap of African Americans and minorities by increasing homeownership. Did you know that 44% of Black families own their home compared to 73% of white families? A barrier to minority homeownership is student loan debt. Through scholarship, the Twindle Foundation is providing minority students with an opportunity to take on less financial debt. To give to the Twindle Foundation, visit www.twindlefoundation.org.